गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपीजन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी। श्री राधा माधव जी की जय। श्री कुंज बिहारी जी की जय। राधा शांत विशाखा देवी जी की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय, श्री गौर नित्याय जी की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरुदेव की जय, नित्याय गौ प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी माता जी। Welcome to today's class of Chaitanya Charitamritam. We are going to read from Ādi-līlā, chapter 5, verse number 51. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurnamilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादांश्च सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त श्रीराधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्रीराधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय दत्त चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय दत्त चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने। हरे कृष्ण। Got it. वैकुंठ बैरे यही ज्योतिर्माया धाम, ताहार बाहिरे कारणावमानाम। वैकुंठ बाहिरे यही ज्योतिर्मय धाम, ताहार बाहिरे कारणमवनाम। वैकुंठ बाहिरे यही ज्योतिर्मय धाम, ताहार बाहिरे कारणानवनाम। Please recite. ताहारा बाहिरे कारणानवनाम। माता जी, वैकुंठ बाहिरे यही ज्योतिर्मय धाम, ताहारा बाहिरे कारणानवनाम। Hare Krishna. Word to meaning, translation purport by divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki। Vaikuntha Bahire, outside the Vaikuntha planets, yei, that, Jyotihi, Mayadham, impersonal Brahman effulgence. Tahara Bahire, outside the effulgence, Karna Arnav Nam, an ocean called Karna. Translation: outside the Vaikuntha planets is the impersonal Brahman effulgence, and beyond that effulgence is the Karana ocean or causal ocean. Please repeat. Outside the Vaikuntha planets is the impersonal Brahman effulgence, and beyond that effulgence is the Karana ocean or causal ocean. Per part. The impersonal glowing effulgence known as impersonal Brahman is the outer space of the Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky. Beyond that impersonal Brahman is the great causal ocean, which lies between the material and spiritual skies. The material nature is a byproduct of this causal ocean. Karanokdaya Vishnu, who lies on the causal ocean, creates the universes merely by glancing upon the material nature. Therefore, Krishna personally has nothing to do with the material nature, material creation. The Bhagavad Gita confirms that Lord glances over the material nature, and thus she produces the many material universes. Neither Krishna in Golok nor Narayana in the Vaikuntha comes directly in contact with the material nature, material action, creation. They are completely aloof from the material energy. It is function of Mahasankarshan, the form of Karanokdaya Vishnu, to glance over the material creation, which is situated beyond the limits of causal ocean. The material nature is connected with the personality of Godhead by his glance over her and nothing more. It is said that she is impregnated by the energy of his glance. The material energy Maya never even touches the causal ocean. For the Lord's glance focuses upon her from a great distance away. The glancing power of the Lord agitates the entire cosmic energy, and thus its actions begin at once. This indicates that matter, however powerful she may be, has no power by herself. Her activity begins by the grace of the Lord, and then entire cosmic creation is manifested in a systematic way. The analogy of a woman's conception can help us to understand this subject to a certain extent. Mother is passive, but father inputs his energy within the mother, and thus she conceives. She supplies the ingredients for the birth of the child in her womb. Similarly, the Lord activates the material nature, which then supplies the ingredients for cosmic development. Material nature has two different phases. The aspect called Pradhana supplies the material ingredients for cosmic development. An aspect called Maya causes the manifestation of her ingredients, which are temporary, like form of an ocean. In reality, the temporary manifestations of material nature are originally caused by the spiritual glands of the Lord. The personality Godhead is direct or remote cause of creation, and material nature is indirect or immediate cause. Materialistic scientists, puffed up by the magical changes their so-called inventions have brought about, cannot see the real potency of Godhead behind the matter. Therefore, jugglery of a scientist is gradually leading to a godless civilization at the cost of goal of human life. Having missed the goal of life, the materialists run after the self-sufficiency, not knowing that material nature is already self-sufficient by the grace of the God, thus creating a colossal hoax in the name of civilization. They create an imbalance in the natural self-sufficiency of material nature. To think of material nature as all in all, not knowing the original cause of ignorance, is ignorance. Lord Chaitanya appeared in order to dissipate this darkness of ignorance by igniting the spark of spiritual life, and that can, by his causeless mercy, enlighten the entire world. To explain how Maya acts by Krishna's power, the author of Sri Krishna Chaitanya gives analogy of an iron rod in the fire. Although rod is not fire, it becomes red hot and acts like fire itself. Similarly, all actions and reactions of material nature are not actually the work of material nature, but are actions and reactions of the energy of the Supreme Lord, manifested through matter. The power of electricity is transmitted through medium of copper, but this does not mean that copper is electricity. The power is generated at a powerhouse under the control of expert living being. Similarly, behind the jugglery of natural laws is a great living being who is person like the mechanical engineer in the powerhouse. It is by his intelligence that entire cosmic creation moves in a systematic way. The modes of nature which directly cause material actions are also originally activated by Narayana. A simple analogy will explain how this is so. When a potter manufactures a pot from clay, the potter's wheel, his tools, and the clay are immediate cause of the pot, but potter is the chief cause. Similarly, Narayana is the chief cause of all material creations, and material energy supplies the ingredients of matter. Therefore, without Narayana, all other causes are useless, just as the potter's wheel, tools are useless without the potter himself. Since materialistic scientists ignore the personality of Godhead, it is as if they were concerned with the potter's wheel and this rotation, the potter's tools and ingredients for the pots, but had no knowledge of the potter himself. Therefore, modern science has created an imperfect, godless civilization that is in gross ignorance of ultimate cause. Scientist advancement should have a great goal to attain, and that great goal should be the personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that after conducting research for many births, great men of knowledge who stress the importance of experimental thought can know the personality of Godhead, who is the cause of all causes. When one knows Him perfectly, one surrenders unto Him and then becomes a Mahatma. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What a wonderful explanation by Srila Prabhupada on this verse. The chapter 5th is titled as the glories of Lord Nityananda Balram. So, Prabhupada Das Goswami is singing the glories of Lord Nityananda in this 5th chapter. In the purport we saw that whole creation, we see between the material creation and the spiritual creation there is a causal ocean. And Prabhupada writes, the material nature never touches the causal ocean. It is always separated. Because Lord is glancing from a great distance. We cannot even imagine this great distance, Prabhuji Mataji. What is this great distance? What Krishna does, under Krishna's supervision, all activities of this material creation takes place. In 9.10 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Maya dakshina prakriti hai suyate se characharam hetu nanene konte jagadvi parivartate. That material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti. So material nature cannot work without the direction of Krishna. What does it mean? Like Prabhupada gave the example of potter, very nice example. You may have potting wheel, you may have the clay, you may have the rod, all the tools may be there. But unless the potter activates all these activities, he moves the wheel, he holds with his hand the clay, gives the shape, the pot cannot be made. Same way this whole creation, unless Krishna glances over, and that also Prabhupada writes in the purport, Krishna never touches the material nature. It is far off distance. So Prabhupada writes in the purport of this verse very nicely, 9.10. He says, Krishna also states in Bhagavad Gita that all living entities in different forms of species, I am the Father. I am the Father. The Father gives seed to the womb of mother for the child, and similarly, Supreme Lord, by His mere glance, injects all the living entities into the womb of material nature. We know when Karnokdaya Vishnu or Mahavishnu lies in the Karnok ocean, so he creates so many universes, right? That is the first step. Second step is about the Garbhogdaya Vishnu. Then as Garbhogdaya Vishnu enters into the each and every universe, in that universe there is a water through his perspiration, half universe is filled with that, he lies in that ocean, and from the navel Lord Brahma appears and the whole creation starts. But still, you cannot do the creation. Why? The third form, a Chirokdaya Vishnu, who lies in the Sveddipa or Chirok ocean, he enters into each and every atom as well as each and every living entity is Paramatma. Unless the Paramatma is there, this cannot start. Same way, what we are seeing, Prabhupada is writing, Krishna merely glances over the living entities into the womb of material nature, and they come out in different forms and species according to their last desire and activities. This is very important, Prabhuji Mataji. We have 84 lakhs yonis, right? Out of 84 lakhs yonis, only the human beings. And Krishna has spoken so much in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, about the importance of the human body. It's rare thing to achieve human body. And out of 84 lakhs yonis, Prabhupada writes in the purport, Bahunam janmamte jnanvam prapadate vasudevam sramati sahamatmasu dullabha, 7.19, that after many, many births, one's come to know that Mahatma, he becomes Mahatma, and such Mahatma is Sudullabha, very rare to find, that he comes to know me, Vasudam Swarmiti, I am the cause of all the causes. So Prabhupada writes further in this purport, Lord is not directly attached to this material creation. He is confirming, the Lord is never attached to the material creation. He simply glances over the material nature. Material nature is activated and everything is created immediately. There is no delay. How can we understand this? We saw many times from a space center they are shooting rockets, right, for the into outer space. And these rockets through the energy goes to the space, and then the scientists from here, they are activating the motor installed in that rocket through the remote system. So this distance we are talking about in the outer space is such a great distance, but this modern scientist, the scientists who are in the aerospace engineering, they simply can activate the motor such a far off distance. And this scientist is merely human mind, whereas supreme mind is the Sri Krishna. So Krishna, very, very far off distance, the whole creation, 3/4 is the spiritual creation, 1/4 is material creation. From there he simply glances over this material nature and then impregnates this material nature. Prabhupada writes that because he glances over the material nature, there is undoubtedly activity on the part of Supreme Lord, because he is doing some action, right? But he has nothing to do with the manifestation of the material nature word directly. Nothing to do with that. Krishna gives nice example in Bhagavad Gita in 5.10. Brahmani adhaya karmani sangam taktar kotya lippate se pape na padam patram ambasa. Krishna is giving the example of lotus flower. Like lotus flower grows in the mud or pond or somewhere, right? And there is a stem. The lotus flower is well above the water or the mud pond. It doesn't never touches the mud, but connection is there. But lotus flower never touches that. Krishna says, Lippetasana papena, those who Brahmani adhaya karmani sangam takva krotiya, those who are not in the association of this lotus flower, they are not associating with that. And we have to be very careful, Bhoji Mataji. When we talk of association, we may be physically even associating, but we are completely unattached to that. Prabhupada gives many times example. A king goes to the jail, right? Going of king to the jail and going of a prisoner going to the jail, both are going, but totally different. King going as a supervision. So Krishna is never touching this material nature. And this example is given in this Smriti. Prabhupada quotes from Smriti one example of a fragrant flower. When there is a fragrant flower before someone, you take a very nice rose having nice smell, right? At a distance, smell will travel through the medium of air to the nose of person in front of whose flower is there. Is there any connection between the person and the flower? There is no connection. Flower is away, far away distance, but nose is smelling the fragrance. So that's what Prabhupada is giving the example from Smriti. The fragrance is touched by the smelling power of the person. So person has nose, smelling power. He taste the fragrance, yet the smelling and the flower is detached from one another. There is no connection. So many examples are there. There is no connection absolutely whatsoever is there between the Lord and the material nature. And what we can see, even our day-to-day life, we are having these fans, right? Fan is very far of distance. There is no switch here. We have a remote. Through remote we activate the phone, the fan. Through remote we activate the ACs. It is very simple to understand. When in this material world we can have such a remote connection which will activate the energy from one person to the material aspect, and then material things gets the energy and it starts working. So why Krishna cannot do this? Krishna is all powerful. He can simply activate whatever Krishna wants. This very nice example is given here. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 5th chapter, verse number 26. Similar thing is spoken by Maitreya Muni. He is saying, Kal vratya tumayayam gudmayam madokchajaha purushenatma bhutena viramadatta viryavan. Maitreya Muni is saying the supreme living being in his feature. Who is supreme living being? Krishna. In his feature as transcendental Purusa incarnation, we are talking about Mahavishnu, who is the Lord of plenary expansion, impregnates the material nature of three worlds, and thus by the influence of external time the living entities appear. In the purport of this particular verse, Srila Prabhupada writes, the personality of Godhead is direct or remote cause of creation. Brahm Samhita, which is the first verse, Iswaraha Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the ultimate cause. Krishna is the ultimate cause. So, Prabhupada is writing, personality of God is direct or remote cause of creation, and whereas the material nature is indirect or immediate cause. Therefore, he says, the jugglery of science is gradually leading people to a godless civilization. And this is what is happening. If you see, we have in India 1.4 billion, overall maybe more than 6 billion. How many people are following the godly civilization? Very few. So all these creation inventions, they are leading to the godless civilization. And at what cost? At the cost of goal of human life. So these things, basically what is happening is really causing lot of trouble. The scientific inventions, and what is giving to us the scientific inventions? Sort of material comfort, right? Now there is a heat going on, so much heat. Today maybe it's different weather, but generally heat is there. Olden days, if you remember, when there were no ACs, no fans, people used to have hand fan. And you can walk on the road, you will not feel so hot. Why? Because of all these inventions created, that you take out all the heat from the small home and spread to all the street. Imbalance. And imbalance is creating El Nino effect, so much effect is creating imbalance. These three features which we are seeing, that Mahavishnu is there, and Mahavishnu as a Karanokdaya Vishnu, then Garbhokdaya Vishnu and Chirokdaya Vishnu. The Paramatma feature which is there, the Chirokdaya Vishnu, in 1 to 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam, what does it says? Vadanti yat vitam tattvam yad jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagvaniti sabdate. Three forms you can understand Lord. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti and Bhagwaniti. And very nice example Prabhupada gave analogy of a train. You may remember that in a village, first time one train was going to come, and there were a lot of advertisement, the train is going to arrive in this village and so date. So village people all they gathered together, they wanted to know what is the train, what is the feature of the train. So they selected 3 persons. Send one person, you go and find out what is the train. That person went. Train was coming from a distance and he saw smoke, some noise. He came back running. It looks like a very big ghost. Something is coming, something is burning. We cannot tell, let us run away from this place. Then they thought, let us wait. The second person they sent, he went. He went little closer. By that time train has come little closer. He went to the sun. He saw rumbling of the train, the sound of the train, the whistling of the train. He saw some shape of the train. He came back. No, it's not like ghost. It is, something is coming, but I am not very sure what it is, but it's still dangerous. Then they sent the third person, who was the most intelligent. He went there, he went to the train, found out this moves by the driver, all the details, he came back. It is benefit of for all. So these 3 features which we have, Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagwan. Unless you come to the Bhagwan stage, you are always in danger. Always in danger. Even if those who follow Brahman, they go to the Brahman, they enter into the Brahman. What is happening there, Prabhuji Mata, in the Brahman? Simply, no activity. And biggest punishment for living being, to lock in a room, everything is there with you, but you are locked. No activity for you. The person will cry next day, I don't want any facility, take me out from this place. Right or wrong? Same thing, those who follow Brahman, ultimately they pray to the Lord, just take me out from this place. I don't want to be in this place. So, similarly, Paramatma feature also, but real happiness you will gain, real happiness you will have only when you are in touch with the Bhagwan feature. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidanand, Anand, the reservoir of the bliss, you will get the bliss. And our Kaviraj Das Goswami in this chapter, when he is glorifying Lord Nityananda or Nityananda Ram, he says very nicely, नित्यानंद प्रसादे से गौर चंद्र जानी, नित्यानंद प्रसादे से वैष्णवेर चीनी, नित्यानंद प्रसादे से निंदा यार अच्छा है, नित्यानंद प्रसाद से विष्णु भक्ति है. By the grace of Lord Nityananda, you can know Gaur Chandra. By the grace of Lord Nityananda, you can be in the association of the Vaishnavas. And by the grace of Lord Nityananda, your sins can get eradicated. And only by the grace of Nityananda, you can have Lord Vishnu Bhakti or Krishna Bhakti. So unless you surrender to Lord Nityananda, which is the title of the chapter, there is no possibility of having Bhakti Lata Bij. For his mercy is very much important. Let us pray at the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Ram so that he blesses us to be in the Bhakti, Prabhuji Mataji. Today is very nice day. We have to sing the glories of Hera Panchami also. So Hera Panchami is a very nice festival. I don't know how much time is left. We will see. Lord Jagannath is staying in Neelachal, which is Dwarka. He is so much feeling separation from Vrindavan. This is the internal cause for Rath Yatra. He arranges somehow or other 9-day festival and goes out of the Nilachal to Sundarachal, Gundicha temple, which is the Vrindavan. He promises his consort, Lakshmi Mata, I'll be back by next day, tomorrow I'll come back. And he leaves. Lakshmi Mata is waiting. 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights are over. She is feeling so much separation. And 5th day is the Hira Panchami. Hira means to see. In Odia, Hira means see. And Panchami means 5th day. So Hira Panchami means to see Lord, her Lord, she is preparing. King Prataprudra, this tradition was going on from long time. But every year they used to celebrate in the form of Vedpat or some sloka recitation. Kapilendra Dev king time, that is started as a festival. King Prataprudra called Kala Misra and he said, this year I want to be a special arrangement to be made. Take as many as bells, flags, everything you want, take in the double quantity. Make double prasadam. I want everything so perfect that Lord will be so happy. Which Lord? Lord Gaurachandra. He'll be so happy. Take as many printed clothes, bells, umbrellas, charmers, whatever you want, take everything and make the nice arrangement. Double the quantity of prasadam. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the morning, he prepared himself and took all his associates with him to see the Lord in the Sundarachal. Sundarachal is Vrindavan. And there are very nice gardens there. So Lord Gaurachandra is looking at those gardens. And looking at those gardens, he is remembering Vrindavan. Then he is asked Swarup Damodar Goswami that what is the reason for this Hira Panchami festival. And he discussed a lot, very length about the gardens in the Sundarachal. And he wanted to know about the devotional service. Therefore, very smiling, he asked Swarup Damodar. He is asking, Lord Jagannath enjoys his pastimes at the Dwarka Dham for whole year. For 9 days, he goes to the Sundarachal to enjoy. And he is so eager to see Vrindavan. He is pointing out at neighboring gardens, Gaurachandra, to Swarup Damodar. All these gardens, they exactly resemble Vrindavan Dham. Therefore, Lord Jagannath is very eager to see them. That's why he has come here for 9 consecutive days. But he externally gives an excuse. What excuse? That he wants to participate in Jagannath Rath Yatra. That is an external excuse. But real cause is to see those Vrindavan gardens. But he wants to go to Sundarachal, Gundicha temple, which is replica of Vrindavan. Then Mahaprabhu asked question, Lord enjoys pastimes, fine, that is okay. But why he does not take Lakshmi Devi with him? He should have taken Lakshmi Devi with him. He didn't take Lakshmi Devi with him. What is the reason? Swarup Damodar very nicely smiles, he replies, my dear Lord, please hear the reason for this. What is the reason? Lakshmi Devi, goddess of fortune, cannot be admitted to the Vrindavan pastimes. This reminds us something, Prabhuji Mataji. What does it remind? Belvan. Lakshmi Mata wanted to enter into the rasas, dance. She is not allowed. She is even today doing her worship to Lord so that she can be allowed. But Aishwarya Bhav, nobody can be allowed. So Swarup Damodar told that she cannot be admitted. That's why Krishna, Lord Jagannath, didn't take Lakshmi Devi with him. Then he says in the pastimes of Vrindavan, only assistants are gopis, nobody else. Even Lord Shiva cannot enter the pastimes of Vrindavan unless he changes himself to the Gopi Bhava, Gopi form. That's why we have in Vrindavan Gopeshwar Mahadev, right? So this car festival an excuse, Krishna gets Subhadra and Baldev and enjoys there. Then Mahaprabhu asks, since there is no fault at all in Krishna's pastime, why does the goddess of fortune becomes angry? Why is she so angry? Now Swarup Damodar Goswami replies to this question. He says that it is the nature of a girl afflicted by the love to become immediately angry when the beloved leaves her alone. That's what happened. Lord Jagannath left Lakshmi Mata saying, I'll come soon tomorrow, and then 4 days have passed, 4 nights have passed, the 5th day has come. So, where are Mahaprabhu and Swarup Damodar sitting? Very nice arrangement has been made by Mishra ji, and then they are all sitting there. They want to watch this festival, how does it take place. And King Pradapudra has made a very nice arrangement for this. Lakshmi Mata rides in a golden chariot. She decorates her very nicely with all the ornaments. She is the goddess of fortune. So you can imagine how she will decorate herself. A golden palkin she is riding, carried by 4 men, which is bedecked by the variety of jewels we cannot think of. And this palkin is surrounded by many, many servants of Goddess Lakshmi. They are carrying umbrella, chamar, whisk, flags, and like a procession, they are going. Then Mahaprabhu asked this question. Swarup Damodar tells Mahaprabhu that I have never seen the girl who is feeling separation. I have seen all the pastimes. Whenever there is a separation, the girl becomes very angry, and not only angry, she threw away all her ornaments, goes to the Kop Bhavan, this kind of things we see. But Lakshmi Mata is showing a completely different aspect. She is decorating herself, taking all the paraphernalia, everybody with her, all the so much opulence, and all the maid servants, and going to the Sundarachal. After going to the Sundarachal, she orders her maid servants. In a very angry mood, main gate she arrives and accompanied by all the members of the family. So what happens? She orders her servants. Nandi Ghosh is the chariot of Lord Jagannath. They broke the part of Nandi Ghosh chariot. Even the maid servants, they start arresting the servants of Lord Jagannath. Not only arresting, they have sticks with them. They force them to come to Goddess Lakshmi and surrender over there. They bind them, all the servants of Lord Jagannath. And Lakshmi Mata, very angry mood, she forces them to make a promise, tomorrow you will bring Lord Jagannath back. And they say there is a secret way. She doesn't go back from the main route she came back. There is a secret way, through that gate she goes back. Anyway, we know Lord Jagannath will come only after 9 days. So this is the part of Hera Panchami. But one very nice thing we should see from here. This aspect of Lakshmi Mata becoming angry, or Sridama cursing Radharani, or Satyabhama showing her anger, all these are spiritual aspects. All these are, anger is also a service to the Lord. In the end you will see anger is also service to the Lord. When we see cursing of Sridama in Goloka, when Radharani hears from Lalita Sakhi, Krishna had gone to Viraja. Then Radharani mounts her chariot, which can hold billions of gopis. Billions, not millions, billions of gopis. Such a big chariot is there. There is no time to describe the chariot dimensions and chariot facilities. She goes over there, and in the gate of Virja Kunj, Sridama with all the sakhas is standing there. And there is a big argument between Sridama and Radharani. Radharani in the argument curses Sridama, and Sridama curses Radharani. You will have a separation of 100 years. All this arrangement was made by the mercy of Lord only. So Radharani comes here, there is 100 year separation, she again meets. For that. And this all is spiritual. So when we see this kind of aspect which we are seeing here, that Lakshmi Mata is showing so much anger that she is even arresting the servants of Lord Jagannath, is breaking the part of the Nandi Ghosh, she is forcing them to, all the maid servants to make the promise, tomorrow they will bring Jagannath. This egoistic pride, you may think, but there is no egoistic pride in this. It is one aspect of love between the Lord and the consort. When separation becomes so much that separation leads to the spiritual anger, and spiritual anger leads to the spiritual pride, and then this makes all the arrangement. And that is why since those days, even today we are celebrating the Hera Panchami festival. If we see opulence, Mother Lakshmi is the goddess of fortune, full of opulence. And Lord Jagannath, in this aspect, if you meditate upon this Hera Panchami, he is teaching us a very grave subject. You should leave the opulence. Because when opulence becomes the source of your separation from the Lord, helping is good. Opulence becomes the source of separation from the Lord. Then you should leave opulence and go to your beloved. Whatever material facilities may have, the crux of this pastime is whatever material facilities we may have, if they are supporting us in meeting our ultimate goal of life, to go back to Godhead, Goloka, it is good. If it is become a hindrance, leave it immediately. Leave it immediately. And this festival Mahaprabhu enjoyed very nicely. In fact, when this was going on, he covered his mouth and he was smiling. Very nice smile was there, Mahaprabhu's face. And Swarup Damodar writes all this nicely. So Kaviraj Das Goswami in the 14th chapter of Ādi-līlā has given this in detail. Whatever time was there, little time, we have described this wonderful pastime. Hira Panchami ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Gurudev ki, Nityai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Mataji. We have maybe 1 or 2 minutes. If there is any question, we can discuss, or any addition, observation. No questions? Very good. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna